Welcome back, everyone. We are back in the Cool Club studio. I'm here with John Mazzanoble from JumboMax Golf Grips. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely, Jack. It's great to be here.
We are going to jump in today. If you haven't seen JumboMax, you've probably been living under a rock. So it's been out there for quite a while, and it's time to kind of expose the story and put it to the test.
Sounds great, yeah.
First of all, everyone's here to kind of understand, you know, what that product is about. Like, what's the MO of JumboMax? Like, what are you offering? Let's talk about the features and benefits. Let's take a dive into it. Then we got some extra sauce to kind of show people.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to have an interactive experience. So if you hang around, we're actually going to hit some shots, get some data, so you can see what these grips are all about. But let's kick off with the company MO. Like, what is JumboMax about?
JumboMax is about just playing your best golf. We realized, you know, that grips were put on a golf club about 500 years ago, and we wrapped some leather around a hickory stick, and we've just moved forward. And we adapted our game based on what was invented 500 years ago. Well, as you know, with cool clubs, everything's changed in golf, except for the grips, the swing grips. Superstroke's done a phenomenal job in the putter grip market. They brought oversized putter grips to the market, but you know, there's still a gap in the swing grip market. So we've developed 8 different sizes, 35 different types of grips with variable weights and sizes, and we're going down the road of actually fitting grips. It hasn't really been done in golf. The numbers don't lie. It's science-based. I'm not here to tell you what grip to play, but we really don't fit anybody into skinny grips anymore. They just don't perform as well, and that's all numbers-based. That's not me taking a look and trying to drive a big grip to the marketplace. The numbers don't lie.
Right, and I mean, that's what Cool Club's all about. One of our slogans is, you know, play better golf, obviously, which we all want to do, but it's data-driven results. And for us, you know, we go through a fitting, and we've been in the same paradigm forever. Like, grips have a use in many different fashions, right? So you've got the texture. If you sweat in your hands or you're playing wet or cold weather, like, that's a use, right? And that's kind of been tackled in the industry before with cord, leather, rubber, all these different textures. So we know that has an impact because people need to hold on to it. And then we look at size, and we've talked about size. Like you said, it's come from a real baseline, and at some point in the history of golf, someone put a cap on it and said oversize is where it is, and that had a measurement to it, and we kind of stuck with it. So as a club fitter, and I'm sure this happens worldwide, is like we use size of a grip to maybe talk about hand pain. You know, like if you have hand pain, that's the biggest one we see in a fitting day to day, is larger grips can reduce that vibration, reduce that like wrist movement, and reduce pain.
Yeah, what we hear from is the arthritic crowd, and really for us, that was the easy way to go when we first started JumboMax. It's like we know there's a huge benefit for the achy-handed crowd.
Yeah.
It's probably the #1 benefit for seniors, but we never advertised it like that because when you see the performance aspect of it, you would undervalue the grip tremendously. So,
well, that's the next piece. Is like, okay, well, pain management is a percentage of the market, and right, it's an aging demographic. When you look at that in the golf world, it's a expendable income, so it's nice to have that product for that end of the market. But we also use bigger grips to help, or different size grips to help with swing floors or ball flight floors, right? So we've always used a larger grip, generally speaking, obviously within reason larger, to reduce like that hook motion, the closure of the golf club.
Yeah, absolutely. That closure rate you mentioned is probably one of the biggest secret sauces about big grips. It slows the closure rate down. It gives you more time to be square, is what we like to say. You're square longer to the target. It slows the rotation, and it minimizes the radius as well. So the club's not going to open as much. It's not going to close as much. It's going to do it at a little slower rate. And you have leverage, because if you're going to deliver a blow, you're going to hit somebody here. You're not going to hit them here. There's no power. There's no stability in this part of your hand. So you have to manipulate it. You don't have any surface contact. So getting a bigger grip, you can literally connect it to your ulnar bone.
Right.
So once you have that connection, you're not losing any kinetic energy at impact. You're really driving
the main muscles.
The main muscles, the bigger muscles. And you know, for years they said it inhibited the release. Really what inhibits the release the most is having to squeeze a skinny grip because you don't have any surface contact, creating all that
Tension up here.
Tension's the killer. So when you take the tension out, now you have a freer release. We actually see some folks that fade the ball start to draw it once they get a bigger grip in their hand.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Bryson's a big drawer of the golf ball, and we know he's been an advocate. He's part of your company.
yeah.
So that in itself for me is a nice myth dispeller.
Yeah,
Like that he draws
absolutely.
the golf ball and he wants to draw it and he uses a big grip. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of wash there.
And you know, working with Bryson through the years, he started with us when he was 15 years old. So we've had a lot of time to kind of go through trial and error and scientific testing and all the things that Bryson likes to do. And it's made us all better for it.
Yep.
And you know, some of the biggest things we found out was we can affect ball flight through grip size and weight. It's not just a size conversation that we need to have in golf. We need to really start looking at how we weight the top of our golf club, because we can move the balance point up, which gives you a lot more balanced club to swing with. You don't have to wait on it as long. It doesn't create as much lag, but you're able to get the speed because you're swinging efficiently now.
Yeah. Weight's always been a thing. I mean, putter grips. We had to kind of have this conversation off camera, but
Yeah.
you know, we've talked about counterbalance putters and how that blew up in the industry recently. And there's obviously merit for it. It's out on tour.
Yeah.
And we see JumboMax out on tour. You know, there's not just Bryson who's playing it. There's other
Right.
big names in the industry that are
Yeah.
playing it and coming through the ranks as we speak. So it's kind of just got to find that understanding. And I think there's a lot of fear. And hopefully this is
Right.
what we're trying to do here, is break down some of that fear and negativity towards the word big or oversized.
Right.
It's like what works, what produces a result. And what I'm excited for, I mean, obviously we're going to get to test it today, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully we get some awesome results.
Oh yeah.
But is to kind of change that paradigm. You know, get people in a product that works the best for them and delivers the result that they personally need.
It really is the next generation of fitting. It's the only thing that you have to attach your hands to the club. And if you don't get the grip right, you're really leaving something out of your bag. So I'm finding it, you know, the numbers that we get when we go through this process are pretty phenomenal. I'm sure, Jack, we're going to see some pretty good stuff when you're swinging as well. And it really, without fail, we see improvement in the golf swing. We see better dispersion, and we see, you know, longer, straighter shots. I mean, it's kind of a cliche, but the numbers don't lie. So I that's really, you know, with this new technology, I hang my hat on the numbers and not, you know, trying to be salesy, because this isn't a sales pitch. This is more about the next evolution of golf, and you know, how can we bring this to market and help folks like yourself, the fitters, the experts, the doctors of golf, I like to call.
Yeah.
You know, we need to kind of educate at this point, because we've been taught a lot of things about swing weight and grip size, and we've been able to disprove that. And the way we've done it is with numbers and championships. I mean, we've won a lot of golf events, from World Long Drive Championships to the best amateur events to major championships on the PGA Tour. So
Yeah. I started in this industry building golf clubs, and you touched on swing weight there, and there's also kind of a paradigm about swing weight that's, you know, I've got to be D2 or whatever that number
well,
is.
that's listen. We were out on tour for a number of years, and you know, the amount of people that think you have to be at D2, and these are the best in the world. It's almost mind-boggling, because the numbers don't lie. Bryson won the majority of his golf playing in the C's, but he's also won playing in the E's. Now, Bryson's uber talented, obviously, and he could probably win with a fishing pole. But the reality is, we're having success across the board, and you know, a lot of it is with the heavier stuff. So we can't just dispel swinging in the C's or the D's or the E's. We're all built different. We're all gone through life. Some of us are younger, some of us are older. We deliver the golf club differently, and it's all about sequencing. So when you get the proper size and weight grip in your hand, you're able to sequence better, and it allows you to play better golf.
And I mean, experiencing this is going to be the key, so hopefully we give you an insight into that. Before we jump into the even more tech, it's not just swing grips, right? You've got putter options in this layout.
Yeah, over the years we've really been able to develop our putter grip line. It's really on the come. It's very affordable. It's aesthetically pleasing, and we've covered all the shapes and sizes. We have some of our own proprietary stuff that we've come up with. You know, the jumbo flat that Bryson made famous. That's a 17-inch grip. We've also developed a counterbalanced 13-inch grip jumbo flat, which I happen to be using right now. It allows you to get a little bit of forward press because of the width of it. You get both thumbs on top, and your hands are set in a little bit of a forward position. So you know how a lot of guys like the forward press?
Yep.
This eliminates the forward press and gives you that counterbalance feel that we're talking about.
Which can be a really stable feel when putting. And that's kind of the weird thing is we talk about counterbalance, stabilizing a putting stroke, smoothing it out, but it hasn't translated to the full swing yet.
Not yet, but we'll see that in a little while. We also have the pistol style. We have the straight type taper. So definitely check us out for putter grips. You're going to be seeing a lot more of these out in your retailers.
Especially in our Cool Club stores. Come and check out these. We'll have these displays in store for you to look at, and then we're going to have hopefully an experience like we're just about to dive into. So let's talk about the app, right?
The app. Yeah.
How do you fit a golf grip? And I guess people that have been through club fittings, hopefully people that are watching this have been through Cool Clubs. It's not that the golf grip is kind of left out of the equation, but it's a really tough one to test. People have preferences. Then they add swing weight and length into the equation, and you're trying to build this holistic picture of a golf club. But the grip itself is very rarely focused on as a component, an individual component.
Right.
And this is where this technology kind of comes in.
Yeah, this is where we want to make our impression in golf. We want to allow folks to be able to get the right grip in their hands and not have to think about it anymore. Because once you find the optimum size and weight for the way that you deliver a golf club, that grip can stay with you, for a lifetime because you've optimized it. Yep. With shafts, technology comes out, things change. Once you cover all the variable of sizes and weights the way we have, there's really nothing left to do but go through the fitting.
Yeah.
So the way that our fitting app works, it's an intuitive fitting app. A lot of folks have been to their drugstore and stepped on a Dr. Scholl's, and it kind of recommends your size and measures your foot and gives you the right pad for your foot. Well, our app kind of does something similar. So it's interactive. You're going to hold your hand over the app, and I'm sure we'll have a chance to show the listeners.
Well, let's jump into it right now. I mean, this is the app, and you can download it on an iOS and an Android.
Android's coming, but iOS for sure. This Apple product, you can download it on your phone, on your iPad, and let me show you the way it works.
Yeah.
You're just going to get started here, and then we're just going to hover our hand.
Okay.
Hover your hand over the middle, and it's loading. It's measuring your hand size. So hit next. It's just going to ask a couple questions, Jack. Basic questions.
Yeah. What is your ball fly? And I like to hit a little draw. So
okay, great.
Let's put that in there.
All right.
We'll hit next. Rate your grip pressure.
This is a big question. Yeah, we want to make sure that we get to those folks that are really squeezing hard because we can really make a difference for you. So.
And I think I do. I'm going to put my pressure at 7. I think I give it a decent squeeze, more than halfway for sure.
It makes sense. You have, what size glove do you
I'm using a men's ML.
Yeah, so you're probably playing maybe an oversized grip now, or?
I play, and this is funny, right? Over the years I've messed around with grip. I play a standard size, but with 3 or 4 layers of tape, depending on what.
Okay, so you've built it up and you've added weight to it.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, do you have issues that affect your grip?
Yeah, going back to the conversation we had about the achy-handed crowd, obviously the bigger the grip, the more cushion that you have, the easier it is on your hands, not to mention that folks with arthritis can't close their hands as well.
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't feel like I have any hand pain. I'm pretty good, so I'm going to leave that one blank.
Great.
And okay, so in this now, we've got recommended grip sizes are large.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I would probably peg you for large based on those questions. But really, this is a guideline for folks that are out there that may not have access to a fitting, retailer or somebody in your area. This is very accurate. It does very well. Oftentimes, this fitting on our app will translate to a live fitting.
Yep.
So we're going to test that out. We're going to go on to the simulator and we're going to hit some balls and we're going to flush out the app and find the perfect grip for you to hit.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited about that. So we've talked about all the theory, right? And now is the chance. We're lucky enough to have this studio. We're going to jump on a GC quad and we're going to hit some golf balls. And we're going to condense this a little bit so you can actually enjoy the process. It can take a little longer, maybe half an hour or maybe even up to an hour.
Up to the player. We have a quick fit kit. I could do it in 15 minutes.
Right.
But if we're going to really take a deep dive and say we're working with a tour player or somebody's really serious about wanting to get better, we can take as long as you want to flesh out the right grip. Typically, if you just give me about a half hour, I'll find the right grip.
So let's do it. We're going to jump in there. Let's just talk about the process quickly. We're going to start at the smaller end, somewhere where I've basically come from already.
Yeah, so we want to establish a baseline with what folks are doing now. Most people are playing a standard or standard oversized, maybe a jumbo. So those are the three grips that are currently out on the market that you would have access to unless you're using a JumboMax. So we like to start with a baseline number of what you're doing now, and then we're going to climb the ladder up to what Bryson does, which is always fun. Everybody's curious about it. And Bryson's grips, it's pretty big, but oftentimes folks fit into that and they're comfortable with it. But it's usually on the way back down that we find the optimum grip.
Yep.
And then we're going to finish with what you're doing currently. So we're going to have it's going to be kind of a feel thing where you go up the ladder, come down the ladder, and once you get back in to your grip of current grip, it's going to be interesting to hear your reaction.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump in the bay and see what this does.
Sounds good, Jack.
All right, now we're in the hitting bay. It's time to get some data-driven results.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So talk us about what you've got, what the kind of kit is, and how we're going to do this.
Okay, so we've gone through the interactive fitting with the JumboMax fitting app, and now we're going to flush it out live, and it's going to be fun, Jack. We're going to go through the baseline test with a standard grip. This is standard oversized grip.
Yep.
So we'll get your baseline numbers. This is what you're doing now. And then we're just going to look for better dispersion and speed, the two things that really count in golf. So I'm sure we're going to find some stuff. And the folks at Avoda have helped us design an amazing fitting kit. So now we're actually able to do live grip fittings, in person, real data. We get to go through all the variables. And what we're going to do is we're going to test the lightweight JumboMax, and we're also going to test the heavyweight JumboMax. We're going to identify the right size and weight for your swing, and we're going to optimize your numbers. And at Cool Clubs, I know that's what you guys are all about. So
yeah,
this will be fun.
I'm excited to see the results. Hang around so you can see the results. Let's get into it.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Okay, so this is the standard oversized.
Standard oversized, lightweight grip.
Feels pretty normal to me right now.
Yeah, it's in the 35 gram range, so it's very light.
Okay. That's pretty normal to me, the toe miss.
Okay, a little left, but not a bad strike. 191 yards.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Okay, hit that one pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. So let's get 3 or 4 of those good strikes. 3's probably good. That was a real nice strike. So
yeah.
That's a great number to look at. Okay. Very nice.
Well, they're good. 210 through the air.
Yeah. Beauty.
Yeah, that was. See, I didn't actually hit that bad. Just turned over on me. I don't mind seeing it go right to left, but that was kind of a lot of right to left.
Sure, and I think part of what we're going to try to do is slow down the rate of the face closing for you, because it appears that probably is your miss, I guess. Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
miss?
I get both. To be honest with you.
Okay.
I get the big right and the big left. You know, I got all the golf course to work with.
All right.
And that was a good strike again. Just turning.
Yeah, so for you, closure rate's really going to be important. So as we go through this fitting, we're going to identify the optimum closure rate, because that's really going to straighten that draw. It's going to, hopefully get you started a little bit right of target and moving on to target. So we'll see if we can get there.
So what step do we take from here?
So we're just going to climb the ladder. We started with the standard oversize, and I'm going to bring you into the JumboMax family now. So we're going to start with the extra small JumboMax. We're going to go through the process of the small, the medium, the large, and then the extra large. We're going to identify that best size grip, and then we're going to start looking at the weight.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
All right.
Okay, next.
All right, Jack. So now we're going to go to the extra small. This is the first grip in the JumboMax family. So
okay.
Bigger than any other grip on the market.
Right. Notice extra small for you guys, but noticeably bigger for me.
Correct.
Okay. Let's hit some of this. Okay, next on the list.
All right, Jack, we're going to go to the small. We're getting a little bit bigger. It's going to be a 60-gram weighted grip. So still in the lightweight category, about as much as a standard grip would weigh.
I was going to say, but for this size in a regular grip, not that we even get there, would be a huge weight grip already. So it's nice to have a lighter option. Here.
Absolutely. Plus, a lot of folks like to have the swing weight, around that D2 range, so we're able to maintain that swing weight.
Yeah. The other thing to note here is we've been using the same shaft at the same length in the same head every time, so we really are just changing the grip as a variable.
That's the only variable we're changing.
Yeah, yep. Perfect.
Very good.
All right, John, we're working our way up. This is the medium?
This is the medium Zen Light, 62 grams.
Okay.
So you're starting to tighten your dispersion up, I see. So let's see if you keep
it's
that
funny
trend
that
going.
that last group is the best group so far, and the one thing I'm going to say right now is that we're large. We're way beyond anything I've tried ever, and it's not uncomfortable. I think a lot of people might be afraid that big is uncomfortable and it's too big, and there's definitely not that.
Well, imagine holding a hammer or a tool. You got to get some work done. Maybe it's a rake or a shovel, and it has a skinny handle on it.
Yeah.
That probably wouldn't feel too comfortable, and it wouldn't be that efficient. So what you're feeling is the size of just about everything you use for other sports, for your tools, and in everyday life. So it should feel more natural.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, that felt good. So the best group in so far, and we're not there yet.
Yeah, no, you're climbing the ladder. The medium was your best grouping. You hit it the straightest and the furthest. So
right,
really,
it's not just dispersion, right? I'm actually picking up yardage here.
yeah, I mean that's what it's all about. We're looking for speed and dispersion, and we usually find it. So right now we're on the right track. Let's keep climbing the ladder and see how the large does.
Is it large from here?
Yeah, we're going large.
Okay, well this is the one that the app fit me for.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, you could go out to the golf course with the medium with that kind of dispersion and distance, and you're going to be just fine.
No problems.
Yeah. So let's see if we can find a little bit more with the large. Then we're going to let you hit Bryson's extra large and see how you do with that.
Okay, let's do it.
Thanks.
But straight. I mean, that's part of it as well, right? Missing it and still getting it down the line.
Yeah, I mean, dispersion counts. So we want to make sure that, you're on line.
So this is Bryson's grip now.
Close. It's the extra large. So from a size standpoint, this is the size that Bryson plays. It weighs 65 grams, so he plays a heavier grip. We are going to hit the grip that he won the U.S. Amateur and the NCAA championships with.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm no Bryson, but I'll give it a go.
Let's give it a try, the XL.
It's funny because it's like the first grip that actually feels big.
Yeah?
The others, they feel big, but not.
Well, what we try to get a grip that fits right here. There's a bone called the physiform, and it connects to the ulnar. So when you get the optimum grip with JumboMax, a lot of times it sits right there on the physiform.
And I do think that the app kind of had it in the right place. The large just felt a little more comfortable than where we're at.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. So we're starting to see some balls going to the right.
To the right.
Starting to lose some of that shape, and we're starting to see some diminished returns. I mean, you did hit it 220, so
right.
It's not something that is terrible, but it's not optimum. So
right, and that's it. I think this is the part of the testing procedure and the data-driven results. Numbers don't lie. This one, it didn't feel kind of as comfortable as the others I've tested, and we started to get that fade shape. And for me, I do still want to turn it over. So like,
absolutely,
it's not saying that always bigger is always better. There is a point that's good.
And we're not here trying to get folks into big grips. We're just looking for the optimum size and weight. And if it happens to be a smaller grip, so be it. We have standard. We have the standard oversized. We have jumbo. And then we have the JumboMax XL through the extra large. So there's a right grip for you within this lineup. Nobody has this type of variety of grips, sizes and weights. I mean, we have over 40 variations. We have straight taper, we have heavy, we have light, and we can dial it into the perfect size and weight.
Well, I'd be interested, I think I like between the medium and the large, and I'd be interested to try the weight in the large.
Absolutely. So we're going to back you down the cycle. We're going to go from the XL back down to the large, and we're going to add the weight back in.
Okay.
And we're going to see how that works.
Let's do it.
Great.
So large, heavy, and what are we talking about weight-wise here?
113 grams. So now here's really where we take the balance point from somewhere down here and we move it up the shaft. So this is a lot more balanced club. The head's going to feel a little bit lighter, but you'll get used to that real quick. The key is, how's your ball striking with the heavier grip?
Yeah.
That's really what we want to find out.
And I miss that. Like when I'm having off days, I have inconsistent off days. So I'd love to pick up some consistency.
Sure. I mean, think about it in terms of throwing a tennis ball that has little weight in it and a baseball. You have more stability and you can generate more speed with the baseball because it has a little more mass.
That makes sense.
And same thing can apply to a golf grip.
Okay. Pretty damn good.
Hoochie mama.
That was moving.
Yep. Let's see what this one gets out to. Beautiful shot. Yeah, 224.
138 ball speed.
138 ball speed. Okay.
And drawing. Big, heavy grip, effectively light swing weight. I turn it over, no
Beautiful
problem.
draw. Yeah, that's the shot you're looking for. Okay, you're really getting dialed in with the heavier grip.
It's interesting, as a club builder and a club fitter, everything in history has said to me, it's too light for me, the speed's gonna be, you know, I'm too fast to have a light swing weight, essentially, but this is proving that wrong.
You know, Jack, a lot of the long drive world champions we work with have gone heavier. There's more stability. So, you know, the stronger you are upper body, the faster you swing, some weight in your hands really adds some consistency in delivering the club. I mean, those two balls are pretty much on top of each other. So let's see if we can continue that.
That, believe it or not, was a tiny mishit.
Which, that's what really the secret sauce is. If we can optimize our mishits, golf is a game of misses.
It's in a bucket. You could throw a blanket over these 3 shots down there.
Right, 135 mile an hour ball speed, so you're really not dropping off much at all.
Yeah, and that was, you know, a little toe, should normally rip it down. Yeah. And that is an experience. I mean, if anyone's had this with an iron, you mishit it, you feel that club talking around and your hands, or it slips. My hand didn't slip. The club face didn't splay open with that toe hit. So, and that obviously stabilized it through the shot too.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, a little miss hit, but I love seeing it still turn over. Didn't lose any yardage by the looks of this.
No, gee. 223.
And that was a little miss. And look at that grouping. This is, you can't make this up, right?
No.
This is the GC quad. We're hitting Pro V1 golf ball. Legit results are being made here. We're going to put the B-roll over the camera and show
like
people
you're excited right now, Jack.
Because, you know, it's times in the industry when you see technology change and that changes the paradigm.
Yeah.
And I think that might be where we're at. Like, you can't take everything for someone's word, and hopefully these videos are always educational and give you the idea of what technology is up to, but this is a legitimate result where I've hit 4 balls there. I've got a birdie putt.
Yeah, no, that's a tight grouping. Those balls are pretty much touching each other. I mean, that's one of the better. I saw Tony Finau do that once, but You know, that's pretty cool. And, you know, these are the type of results we get quite often. This is not an anomaly for us. So it's fun to be able to see you enjoy this experience. You know, you've been in this business so long, and, you know, some of the best fitters in the world are in this building right now. So to see this kind of reaction from you and the genuine happiness of a grouping like that, you know, that's what it's all about.
And it leveled up because the app told us about the size, right? And we tried the large, and in fairness, I think in the Zen Lite version, the medium performed a little better for me.
It did.
But when we put this weight in, which is, again, something I would never do as a club builder, it's kind of out of my realm of knowledge,
Right.
is you've changed, and, you know, I'm always open to new ideas. I'm chasing that magic golf swing, right? Dig it out of the dirt.
Yep.
This has really changed it. Putting that weight in the grip is something I need to explore now.
Yeah, and you know, let me show you what else we can do. You know, you don't have to, you know, take hours and hours to find the perfect grip. We have a system now with the JMX Pro Lock that actually are weighted, so we can take our Zen Lite, we can insert the weight, and we can actually dial into the exact weight and the exact size that's optimum for you.
So it doesn't need to be, this grip is whatever we said, 113 grams?
113 grams.
It might be that you're 100 or 110 or 120.
We can travel down that road, yes. But, you know, short term right now, to be able to go in and optimize a grip and get these kind of results, we're already there. It's just how deep a dive do we want to take? How good do you want to be?
Yeah.
You know?
You know, the last thing, we touched on this in our interview portion, is you said, give me back the regular size grip at the end of it. Mm-hmm. And now we've been through this process, I think it's important to kind of show that to the viewer, because I haven't got genuine feedback right now because I haven't done it.
Yeah.
So let's go back down and talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to let you finish with what you're doing right now. So let's see what those numbers look like and see how it compares to this grouping you just got.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm not hopeful that it's going to improve.
Well, neither am I, but this is what we do. So let's check it out.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So back to the SO. This is the first grip we tested in this session. It does feel like a toothpick in my hands now.
Right.
You know, and you have to try it to believe it.
Right.
So, and it feels normal, but I will say, and this is about grip pressure, I'm not conscious of grip pressure all the time, but now I've got this smaller one back in my hand.
Yep.
Pressure's up.
The squeeze is back on.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you don't know it until you try it.
Absolutely.
You have to try this.
Yep. Woo! She going left, and she going left hard.
Right, it's the biggest hook of the day by 40 yards possibly. You know, I'm in not just Mr. Green, I'm on the next one.
It's a good example of closure rate. So now you really can see the difference between diameter of grips when we weight it properly, when we get the right size grip in your hand. You're really getting the optimum closure rate for how you sequence your swing.
Yeah.
We're not giving you a golf lesson. We're not here to change your swing. We're just here to optimize. The only thing that touches your hands is the grip.
It's the grip.
The only connection to the golf club.
I'm going to hit one more just to prove to people that it's not just like the whiz bang from there to there, and that might have been a freak. So let's just hit another one and make sure. And I'm not trying to hit a hook, I promise you.
Put your A swing on it.
This is my good one. No, I made it. Okay, I made a good pass at that, and I look up and
it looked good. Yeah,
it's moving
just,
right.
You know, your hands are active, and the skinnier the grip, the more active the club face is going to be, the faster the closure rate's going to be, the more you're going to hook it.
You're going to see this on the dispersion graph right now. The green dots are the large that we ended up in with the heavyweight grip. What's the naming of that grip?
That is the wrap series. We also have the tour series that is the same weight.
Same weight.
Depending on texture and the feels that you like on your golf grip, one has a slight spine on it, one is more circular.
So that's where we're at in that size weight configuration. The yellow dots are the original one there. Those last two that I hit were obviously the ones that are on the far left. I'm not going to stand here and try and sell this to you, but I'm going to stand here and say it's been an eye-opening experience, something that you have to try. The app is obviously in a good spot because that's where you ended up. Yeah. The app, you know, doesn't recommend weight right now, and it's probably a down the line thing.
It's coming soon, yeah. We're still tweaking the weight portion of it. There's, you know, a little more research that we're doing, and we're going to get the results soon, and it will be part of the app shortly. Yeah.
And let's just look at I think butt diameter is going to be, if we show this versus this, you can see the change that's made there. And even mine that I'm playing right now might be a hair smaller than this because of the 3 or 4 layers. It's
Sure.
probably just under what this is, so it's an even bigger change.
If you don't mind, hold your hand open and let's grip the club, and let's see where you're gripping the club at this point. Okay, so you are getting it here, but in order to do it, you're really clamping down.
I get a lot of fingers. It comes through these fingers, and I actually feel a lot of finger pressure now that I'm changed around.
You don't have much surface contact for your palm. Now, if we put this grip in your hand, it's naturally going to fit, and it's connected to your ulnar. Now you're delivering the blow here, as opposed to here, and you're doing it, you know, with more control and power. So. And
there's a test that we do as club fitters when we do basic grip fitting. We're talking old school grip fitting nowadays.
Yeah.
Is that these fingers can touch this pad.
They still touch.
And they still do touch.
Yeah, I mean, I can release a basketball. I can release, you know, the release is just the rolling of the forearm. So if you take some of that fast twitch wrist out of it, you have so much more control and power and leverage into the golf ball. And that's what you just saw today.
Well, that's what this channel is all about. It's just to give you options, to give you places to go to find this information, experience new products, new things, and help you play better golf. Thank you so much for coming out, John, and spending time with us and all of your team here that we've worked over the days. The fitters are getting used to it. We're still working on this process at Cool Clubs. It's going to take a minute to implement this and have it in a way that works perfectly for you. But in time, you'll find JumboMax in our stores. Right now, you're going to be able to see them on the shelves. Don't forget the putter grips are still a big part of the game there.
Big part of the deal, yeah.
And stay with us. We'll let you know as we get this implemented into our fittings, and if we can do a full grip-specific fitting, I hope that's where we can get to, then we will implement that in the store.
Well, we're going to be seeing you at the golf show, so let's look forward to our next meeting and opportunity to get some feedback on this new grip you're going to be putting in play.
In the meantime, probably out 13 of these?
Absolutely. We'll get you a couple extra. Thanks a lot, Jack. My pleasure. Thank you.